size advantage.
The Hounds are going to struggle against her. And
Israel back in the game now. Michael Tucker.
As always,
should have been a foul call.
Lamar is wide open.
Hey, what's up, Loyal, and welcome back to the Six Man Report. I'm your host, Rob Fredrickson, and joining me is my co-host, Brendan Highland. And Brendan, great news to report as usual, and it's official. The Loyola Greyhounds, 11-0, have jumped from number 4 to number 1 in the Lacrosse rankings this weekend after they beat number 8 Denver. Now, Brendan, you know, this is the first time they've been number 1 since 1999, and they've been there before, but I always think it's something special to be ranked number 1 in the country. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with that. You know, being ranked number 1 in the country is something that I'm sure every athlete dreams about growing up, and I'm sure all these college kids now that they're on the big stage, they dream about it too. And, you know, we've put together the resume this year, beat Duke, who's number 5 now, beat Denver, beat Fairfield, who's 17 now. We've beaten quality opponents. We've dominated a lot of them.
Yep.
We haven't allowed double-digit goals. We're the only team in the country to do that, I think. You know, we're led by 2 stars in Sawyer and Lusby. They've been playing fantastic. So, you know, I think that this overall is it's a team effort, you know, the success.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's going to continue to build.
Yeah, so let's talk about that game this past week against Denver. They took them down 12-9 in the Mile High City. And Brendan, once again, you know, every week we say it, and it's amazing. It took another second half run. It took another second half run. I mean, I don't know what Toomey says to them in that locker room, but every single time. So, Brendan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened in the game?
Well, you know, Rob, you know, the guys, they were down 8-7 in the third quarter. Nico Pantrelli, he scored his second goal of the season. That sparked a 5-1 run, which was huge. From there, Lusby added 2 more goals. Justin Ward added a goal. Sawyer added a goal. You know, they got contributions from everybody. They scored 12 in the game, but they had 9 different players score. I think that's huge just to display the balance,
Yep.
you know. I'm sure teams and people in the country look at our team and say, oh, it's all Sawyer and Lusby, but it's not. And, you know, offensively, we say that, but defensively, you know, again, we played great, and you know, we shut down Mark Matthews.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brendan, the most notable part of this game is not even on offense.
Right.
You know, Mark Matthews, we talked about him on the last show and how he's somebody that we have to mark, and it's unbelievable. You talked about it in the interview with Jack Runkel that's going to be coming up. That was the first time in 39 games he hasn't scored a goal. That breaks his streak.
Right.
And, you know, congratulations to Reed Acton, because he's the one that, you know, had the primary duty of shutting him down. And he really did a great job. He won Defensive Player of the Week in the ECAC once again. And like we said, Jack Runkel did his job again, 8 saves and under 10 goals again, and they've done, you know, Loyola keeps on going.
And, you know, I think that the one thing that Acton has that a lot of other defenders might not have, especially going up against a guy like Matthews who's 6'4" and 220 pounds, is Acton's 6'3", 6'4", and he's 210 pounds. So he can match a guy like Matthews with the amount of physicality that Matthews is going to bring. Acton can match that.
Absolutely. And, you know, fortunately, like I said, we were able to catch up with Jack Runkel and Mike Sawyer, the guy who's on the Tewarton Award Watch. So here are those exclusive interviews from the Six Man Report.
Hey Loyola, I'm here with Jack Runkel, starting goalkeeper for the newly ranked number 1 Loyola men's lacrosse team. And Jack, now that you guys are ranked number 1 in the country, how do you deal with that ranking?
Really, it's just going game by game, playing everyone like it's our first game. We're 0-0, and just kind of not really looking forward to the next game. Just kind of focusing on who we have this weekend and
Going from there.
Yeah.
You know, and now, you know, we've talked about it constantly on the show, the defensive success that this team has had. You guys have yet to allow an opponent to score double digits. What do you think has been the key to that success this season?
Well, besides the individual players that we have, I think we play well as a unit. I think we do a very good job of helping each other, and our coach kind of harps on that a lot, is support. And we focus a lot in practice on supporting each other and sliding well and playing good scramble defense, which I think is key to a good defensive success.
And now, Jack, you know, this is your first year starting, and, you know, last year you got to sit and watch and really, you know, internalize some things about the college game. You know, you had your first start this year against Michigan, a game that really we kind of dominated. You weren't really challenged that much in, but following that game, we played against Duke, a big home game. Obviously, Duke is a very good team. We won that game. You played very well with 12 saves. What did that game do for your confidence?
You know, any game against Duke, I think, in any sport, it'll be a confidence booster just because of the name that's on their jersey. My first big start against Duke was huge, though. I think I was a big confidence booster for me. We came out, everyone played hard around me and kind of supported me and helped me make some easy saves in the beginning. I made 12 saves, but a lot of them were saves I should make. I didn't really make any saves that I didn't really think that I shouldn't have made.
Right.
So.
And you guys just had a close game against Fairfield. You guys ultimately won that game, but you were down 6-4 with about 12 minutes left in the game, and you made 2 big saves down the stretch. We ultimately ended up winning the game 8-6, but those 2 saves, kind of keep the game 8-6. How did you rebound after allowing 2 goals earlier in the quarter? How did you rebound and refocus yourself to allow you to continue to play well?
Well, Coach Toomey always says just clear everything out of your mind. If you let up a bad goal, if you let up a couple goals on a run, all you have to do is just put it all behind you and make the next save. If you make the next save, we know that we can get the ball up and out and get it to our offense who can score goals. We know our offense can put the ball in the back of the net. So if I make a save, just have to focus on getting the ball out, getting to the offense, and our offense will take care of everything.
And for you personally, I've watched telecasts of lacrosse games, and they always harp on how big it is for goalies early in the game to make a few saves, kind of get the butterflies out, so to speak. How big is it for you? Are you a guy that really just you need that save early on to get yourself going, or are you just kind of gung ho from the get go?
I'd like to say that I'm not a save first goalie, but I think everyone who plays lacrosse goalie has to get a good save in there to get himself into the game. It's just part of being a goalie. If you let up a couple bad goals, your confidence level is it's hard to gain your confidence level back up and to go out and get a good save.
Right, and you guys are coming off a big win at Denver, obviously a very good team. You guys held Mark Matthews, their stud attackman, to 0 goals. That was the first time in 39 games that he hasn't scored. That was tied for second nationally. What were the keys to doing that by your defense?
Well, credit to Reed Acton. He played amazing on Mark Matthews. He played some great shutdown defense and really limited his shots. All the shots that Mark Matthews took were from outside and very easy for me to gobble up and to get up and out so our offense can take over.
And you just said all those shots were from deeper and they're all contested. For you personally, what's the hardest shot for you to defend?
Definitely something that's really close to me, within 5 yards, because guys in college lacrosse are shooting it 80, 90.
Right.
Mike Sawyer and Eric Leslie can shoot it at probably hundreds.
Right.
If they're in tight, it's almost impossible to save a ball that's that close because my reaction time is literally less than a second.
And for you, personally, would you rather defend a shot where, the shooter's almost standstill shooting, or when a guy is on the run?
I would definitely rather see someone who's standing still from about 10 to 13 yards.
Right.
Just because I can step out and cut off some angle, and I have some size, so I can take up a good portion of the net and make a good save.
And, we're going to have Sawyer on. So if Sawyer had one shot against you, are you saving it or is he scoring?
It depends. It really depends.
Let's say he's 10 yards planted and he just gets a rip.
He can bring the heat. I think it would be probably 7 goals for him, 3 stops for me. He can really bring it.
All right. Well, Loyola, I was just here with Jack Runkel, starting goalkeeper for the Loyola men's lacrosse team. He's going to keep us winning, and you guys need to keep watching.
Hi, I'm here with junior attackman Mike Sawyer, who is number 3 in the entire nation with 36 goals scored this year. Mike, thanks for joining us on the Sixth Man. But Mike, let's get right into the questions. The team has been very successful this year. And in your eyes, you've been on the team for 3 years now. Why has this been such a great year?
Well, it was a great year. We're definitely connecting well on offense. We got Eric Leslie on the left attackman. We connect well on the attack. Our defense is locked down. They're one of the top-ranked defense in the nation, and we've been able to do a lot. We've really produced well as offense, and that's helped us, throughout the year, and continuing success.
Yeah, and how does it feel, to be ranked number 1 in the nation at this point? A great honor, especially after you guys weren't even ranked in the top 20 at the beginning of the season.
It definitely feels well, to have that honor to be number 1. It gives you a little bit of press, and it also, you gotta learn to deal with that. It's a great experience, definitely, and it's a good feeling too.
Yeah, and your last game was against Denver. You notched another 3 goals in that game. You beat them 12-9, and everybody was talking about the altitude and playing in Denver. It's always a tough playing in the Mile High City. Did you find it affected your game or the team's game at all?
I found that difficult in the past last year, definitely, but this year, we were well conditioned. We've really done well off the field in conditioning segments and working out, and I think we were really prepared. There was minimal difference, and I think that contributed well to the win.
And do you think it helps you for the the ECAC tournament coming up in Denver as well?
Definitely, with 2 games out there, it's gonna be tough. 2 games within 3 days, definitely gonna be difficult, and it's good to get that win under your belt, and now you have a win out in Colorado before you go into the tournament.
Yeah, that was a great victory. And according to Inside Lacrosse magazine, you're second in the watch for the Tewarton Award, which goes to the best lacrosse player in the nation. And Steele Stanwyck, who's leading that award watch, he's from Virginia. And they said as long as they keep winning, it's probably his to lose. But they have lost 2 games in a row now, and he hasn't been playing as great. So do you think you may be the favorite for the award at this point?
I don't think so. I think he's really got a clutch on that. He won it last year. He's a great player, and they're a great team. And it'd be nice to get matched up against them, and get to have it out.
Well, I mean, best of luck to you in that arena. But you have Hobart coming up this weekend, and you travel up to Geneva, New York to play them. What kind of opponent are they? Are they good, and how's the team preparing for that game?
Well, they're a real good team. They got one of the top-ranked goalies in the nation. They put up a lot of goals a game, so that'll be a challenge for our defense, and it'll be a challenge for our offense to see how much we can put up on that goalie. We've been preparing real well. We just got done with one of our last practices here at Ridley. We're going to travel up tomorrow morning, to see how we can adjust the travel.
Yeah, good luck to you guys in that game. And I know it's more than a week away now, the Johns Hopkins game. But do you find that the game being on our home turf is going to make a big difference for that game?
Oh, definitely. And I think everyone's going to be pumped for that. We got the whole homecoming week, and you're seeing all the fans preparing for that. All the signs around campus. You don't want to think too much about it, but you can't help but thinking about it.
Yep.
It's definitely a huge game, and the crowd's unbelievable here at Ridley, so it's going to be huge.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're all anxiously awaiting that game, but you guys got to go take care of business in Hobart first. But Mike, thanks for joining us on the 6th Man, and good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it.
We just want to thank Mike and Jack again for joining us, and good luck to them for the rest of the season. But Brendan, they only have 2 games left this season. They go to Hobart this weekend, like we were saying, and then they have Johns Hopkins, the big game on campus. At Ridley, obviously, it's a home game, and you got to get out there and get your tickets, Brendan. Did you get your ticket yet?
I have got my ticket. Actually, I got mine 2 days ago, I think. So I made sure that I wasn't going to get shut out of
I know. Well, they're selling tickets, and they're talking about how they may be sold out quickly. So super fans, get out there, get your tickets for that game, and and try and catch as much footage or whatever you can catch from the game this week against Hobart.
Game, yeah.
And good luck to the boys, and let's keep rolling. But let's hop right into women's lacrosse, Brendan. Unfortunately, they had a great streak going. It ended when they lost to Cornell this weekend, 17-10. But they're 8-4 overall still. They still have a perfect Big East record of 4-0. I don't think this eliminates them from any type of contention. I think it was maybe a minor step back. We talked about how they are a young team, but they had been killing opponents before this game. So Brendan, why don't you tell us a little bit what happened in that game?
Well, Rob, it's not that we played poorly. Annie Thomas led the Hounds. She had 3 goals and assists. Sydney Thomas and Joanna Dalton, they had 2 goals each. It was the second half. We were down 11-9, and from there, Cornell went on a 6-0 run. They kind of put the game away. And, what happens with a young team is sometimes you almost get complacent. Maybe they did get complacent. Maybe they got tired. There's all these different factors that may have impacted the game and are more likely to impact the game with a younger team. And I think that may have happened against Cornell.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we were close there. It was 11-9 in the second half, after the first half. It just seems like we didn't step it up enough, and maybe Cornell came out hot. Sometimes a team gets hot. Exactly, like we said. But Annie Thomas, Sydney Thomas, Marlene Patton, these girls do it night in, night out. I mean, so there's still a lot of promise here, and even if it's not done this season, next season is going to be that much more dangerous.
I don't think that this loss gives us any reason to doubt the capabilities of this team. I think that would be ridiculous. This team has proven to us consistently that they can beat the best opponents in the country. They can play with the best opponents in the country, and maybe they are young, okay, but maybe that lends to them getting hot and just riding it. And, hopefully that can happen after this Cornell loss. They can refocus and kind of get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, every once in a while, to get back up, you need to fall down.
Exactly.
So, maybe that's what's going to happen to the girls. So they have a pair of home games this weekend against Rutgers on Friday night and Villanova on Sunday at 1. So, these will be the last home games for the senior class. Seniors, Kelly Gallagher, Anna Henneberry, Kerry Stuthoff, and Virginia Weber will be honored during the game. So everybody get out there for the girls. And, Brendan, tell us about what Rutgers and Villanova, how they've been playing.
Well, Rutgers and Villanova, actually, they're both on 2-game winning streaks. Both of them have beaten Louisville and Cincinnati. Rutgers, their team led by junior Stephanie Anderson and senior Allie Steinberg, both of whom have over 40 points this season, and they combined for 9 goals against Louisville, so they're very potent in attack. Villanova, they're not the greatest team, but like I said, they're coming off those 2 wins. So both teams are coming in hot, but I think that overall we're the more talented team, and I think that we'll win both games.
Yeah, so those will definitely be a bounce back opportunity for the girls to go out and win both those games, like you said, Brendan. So those are really the last 2 home games for the girls, and then we only have one more home game in lacrosse for the men's against Johns Hopkins next weekend. So definitely get out to those games. And from the 6-Man Report, I'm Rob Fredrickson.
I'm Brendan Highland.
We'll catch you next week, Loyola.